Hi YouTube, it's Queen Pam Elon QP here, and I am doing some maintenance in my art journal. Because part of art journaling is taking care of your supplies. And you can see off to the left of the camera is the Dylusions paint. And periodically, because I don't use them all that often, you have to mix them up and add distilled water. Also, what you see next to me is just a basic composition book where I have taken the pages and used glue stick to glue several of them together, or it may have been Yes Paste, because I also like that when I'm doing this process. I think this was Yes Paste because there's very little wrinkle. And what I'm doing is mixing the paint and cleaning off my palette knife in the book. So I'm going to show you that process. See, it's sort of thick right now. See how it's kind of thick. So what I'm going to do is take a little of my distilled water and pour it in. Hope my hands are not in the way. You can see a little bit of about how much water I put in there. You can see it moving around. Almost enough just to color the top. And I sort of do a combination of stirring and mixing, because what that will do is make sure I don't waste my investment, because I like to have all the colors, and because I like to have all the colors, they don't all get used all that often, but they did today, because now that I've got it all nicely blended together, I'm going to use the rest of it as the start of a journal page. And I'm just going to slather it on. No plan. There's no gesso down. They're really sort of translucent because of their nature, and you can still see the index lines. And then I'm going to clean off the remainder off of the knife so that I don't contaminate the next color. And then I just close it up tight, clean off any mess that I may have made on the jar, move on to the next one. I didn't think to turn this on until I was almost done, so this one's going to be a very neutral page because I've got black, gray, brown, and white left to do. And this, you can see, it's even got like some green going on. So it really needs to be done. See if I can do it like that. You can see about how much water I put in there. And I generally sort of fold it in at first. And then I get it going. Stir, fold, because I kind of want to scrape along the sides also, because that paint tends to be thicker for whatever reason, because I do this process a lot. So I know that the distilled water is somewhat degrading the paint, but I'm not doing fine art, I'm doing art journaling, so I'm okay. And you can kind of tell when you've got it mixed up enough, because your paint will go even in color. Or more even in color instead of streaky. And that's good enough for me. And I'll probably do this process again another couple of months from now. And I've got a bunch of random pages started. So I call this a maintenance process for art journaling. At least it is for me, because I own the Dylusions paints. Then in between, I'm gonna hit it with the heat gun, so because I don't want this gray to blend too much with these. And in fact, I see like some really deep places here that I'll pick up and maybe move. And I'll hit it with, sorry, noise pollution. I'll use the heat gun as a hair dryer. Just a little bit to get it a little bit dry. See how that is with all those different colors in there? When I get after I've added my water and blended it, it should be more gray. Scrape along the sides, bring that sort of up, keep folding and stirring. I'm also going to spin the jar a little bit so that I'm folding in different areas, kind of like baking a cake with your mixer, how it spins, or how you scrape along the sides so that you make sure everything is getting mixed. And that's good enough for me. So as to not waste paint, there you go. Put some in the art journal. And we have a background started. Give you a flip through, and then you don't have to watch me do the rest of it, of the ones I did today. Like before, I realized that I wanted to sort of keep the colors together, but this one's an interesting page for a start, as is this one. So maybe I'll add some of this black to this one. Yeah, the black's really thick, because I almost never use this black. So I put a lot of water in this one. So I'm going to start really slow. You can see that. Yeah, that black was getting really thick. I may have just gotten here in time to save it. Or maybe not, because it's kind of like jello. That's the way. Gelatinous. There's the word. Yeah, see, it's not as smooth as the rest. So I'm going to give it even more water. Got a couple of fans going. If you guys can hear that, I apologize. But I was varnishing a table, so kind of gotta let them run. Still clumpy. but good enough for me. So this is what I call art journal maintenance. As always, I leave you in the hands of the Creator. Be blessed.